Adjusting. Good morning. Good morning, Dave. Maybe we'll be the only people here. Um, no, look, more people. Well, good morning. Oh, I gotta turn this off. Air conditioning is loud. Saturday. Here we are. End of the week. Um, we made it. uh, I hope you all have your power back. Well, of course you must, or you're not tuned in. But I hope you didn't have any damage to the house. We had another storm last night. Uh, Real downpour, and a fair amount of wind. And I have heard that further north, up around Hockessin and such, they had some tornadoes. So yeah, we didn't, as far as I know, but we did lose power briefly, very briefly. But everyone ran around and plugged in their phones and got everything, in anticipation of another event. So I don't know. Yeah, it's like feast or famine, right? We either get no rain at all, or now we have just a ton of rain. So that's fine. We'll let it be what it is. Um, well, I hope you have a good weekend planned. I think maybe I'm gonna work on the deck with Dave and my son. We were thinking about doing it last weekend, but my son was away, and we've been talking this whole thing up for so long, and he keeps telling us he's going to help. So I really didn't want to get started when he had no chance of helping us. Plus, it was really hot, and I just didn't feel like it. So I don't know. I'm not sure I feel like it this weekend, but Dave told me he was. So I'm counting on his enthusiasm to carry me through getting started. We'll see. So that might not be a bad topic to talk about, is that idea of um, creating um, an enthusiasm, or um, right. So we create our reality. We create our life. Right? I mean, we like to think of, and it is kind of a contradiction, right? Because we say on one hand in yoga that um, we need to be aware of how much we are out of control of many things in our life, right? So in that sense, we want to know that it's not uh, reasonable to take responsibility for things that are out of your control, and that many things are out of your control. That to try to be responsible and take ownership of all of these things, um, either for good or for bad, is incorrect. Right? We need to understand our place in the larger scheme of things. But on the other hand, we also create our reality, which might make it seem like, oh, well, we control everything. We control our reaction to everything. So while we can't um, stop bad things from happening or good things from happening, we can turn every situation into the most positive spin for us, the most beneficial. We can react in a way that supports our happiness. and our um, well-being. And when we aren't feeling it, we got to do it anyway, right? In fact, when we aren't feeling it is the most important time to do that, to go through the motions until you do feel it, right? So, happiness, as we know, we've talked about this before, it's a choice. It's um, a selection of from the host of options in your life. You could have uh, a very happy life or a very unhappy life with whatever hand you are dealt, with whatever series of circumstances you're going through. It's entirely your choice. Um, and we've seen this, right? We've seen people who look like they have everything, every advantage, every good thing has ever happened to them. And they can't let go of this one bad thing that uh, they focus on, or um, they can't move on from some loss or some perceived failure. They're stuck in that place. And it doesn't matter what happens, they're always going to be stuck in that place. So uh, it's a choice. And sometimes just knowing that it's a choice can free us. It can give us the strength and the perspective to move on to the next thing. I think a lot of people don't realize it's a choice. They think that they are locked into whatever emotions are springing up at the moment. So we aren't. We can't stop those emotions, right? And it would be inappropriate to stop that. And certainly we all have our own tendencies towards. Some people are more positive by nature, some people more negative. Um, my husband likes to say everyone is a Tigger or an Eeyore. Um, and I think that's true. And I think frequently it changes. Like you could be a Tigger in one circumstance, an Eeyore in another. Frequently people are, um, they have a nature which is a certain way, but it can also move around. And in any situation, you frequently have a Tigger and an Eeyore, right? One person is really uh, ready to go with it, and the other person's like, I don't know. And even that dynamic itself is not such a bad thing, right? You're seeing both sides of it, right? There's one person who's rushing ahead with a lot of exuberance, and one person who's like, well, okay, let's just wait. Let's take it slow here and see what's happening. So a balance is always reached in these ways. But it's good to know what your nature is, right? So if you are by nature an Eeyore, maybe you want to step out a little bit and try some new things and just take things at face value for a minute. Just move on and see what's next. Don't worry so much about everything. And if you are more Tigger by nature, um, you might want to try being a little more introspective about some things. And um, again, this is all about what is your result. If you're a Tigger and everything is good with that, you haven't any problem being a Tigger, then great, keep being a Tigger. But if you find yourself leaping into uh, difficult situations or problems because you haven't really thought about it, because you're just rushing ahead, then maybe, the same change. Same thing with Eeyore, right? I think people have more trouble with Eeyore though, because Eeyore tends to get stuck, right? And I think in general, we err more on the side of inertia than too much action. So if you do find that you get stuck with things, that you feel um, like you can't move forward, just take a few steps, um, and see what happens. We're action encourages action, right? So as we move forward and we have some success with that, we can keep going. So in all of these things, just know that you are the agent of this. It's your choice. Um, so knowing, that difference, right? It's your choice to make the best of things, but it's not necessarily um, in our ability to control everything. Right? Sometimes you're going to get a bad situation, and you're just going to have to make the best of it. Um, but there is happiness to be found even in difficult situations, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can be happy. You can laugh even in a hard time or a time of tragedy. There's always something that we can move on with. All right, so let's move through your practice. And in this, notice, right, where things are um, kind of stuck and where you might have more space. So in your practice, you can see this because we have limits, right? Our body has some hard limits, and it has some soft limits. So our job is to have the best practice we can today, given whatever limits we have today. So maybe things are tight. Maybe you've hurt your back or your leg or something. Um, we can still have a practice. It may not be the same practice as you did last week. It may not be the practice you wish you had, but it's the practice that we have. So let's try to be happy with that, to be satisfied, to not regret, and just move. So, sitting up tall, shoulders back. We're taking deep breaths in through the nose, back out through the nose. One more breath, and then chin down toward the chest. Just let the head hang down. And lift the chin up, head drops back. Head back to center, breath in, and then moving the head to the right. Back to center and moving left. Back up to center. Take a breath, lean forward a little, and move around. One way and the other. Back up to your seat, arms wide. Deep breath in, hands together on the exhale. Inhale, wide. Exhale, hands together. Inhale and exhale. Once more, inhaling, exhale. Interlace the fingers, lift the hands. We're gazing up, and then arms down by your side. Inhale, lift, and lower, lift, lower. Once more, lifting up, and then right hand down, reach across. Switch sides. And then both hands by your side. Tabletop. Sitting back on the heels. Back up. Tabletop to downward dog. Walk the feet up to the hands. Breathe. Rising up slowly. Standing tall. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, lift, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, right foot steps back. Drop the knee, arms overhead. Hands to the mat, stepping back. Downward dog. Inhale, move forward to high plank. And then lower down. Inhale, lift, head and chest. Lower. Inhale, lifting up the body. Lower down. One more. Lifting up, head and chest. And lower. And then moving back up. Tabletop. Downward dog. One more breath. Step the right foot up. Drop your knee, arms overhead. Hands down to the mat. Step the back foot up. Fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift high. Arms by your side. Take a breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, left foot steps back. Drop the knee, arms overhead. Hands down to the mat, stepping back, downward dog. Inhale, high plank, and lower down. Inhale, lift, head and chest. Lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. Once more, lifting up head and chest, or you could come up to upward dog. Moving back to downward dog. Take one more breath. Step left foot up. Drop the knee on the right, arms overhead. And then both hands to the mat. Step the back foot up. Fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift high. Back to mountain. Take a breath. And that is all over the place again. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back with the left. Press down with both feet, arms overhead. Warrior one. One more breath here and then move to warrior two. Right arm extends. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, flip that right hand, lift it up high. On the exhale, one more breath. And then we're going to straighten that right knee. I feel like my feet are quite right here. Reach back, so we're kind of stretching along that right side, and then right arm lowers down, left arm is lifting, coming into triangle. Coming back up, release the hands by your side, turn the foot, and we're facing the side of the mat. So, ready for a fold here, hands at the waist, shoulders back, take a deep breath. And then we're going to just lean forward. So just let the upper body go as far as you want here. Hands can come down on the legs, onto the mat. Weight is to the front part of the feet. Bring the hands back to the waist, engage the thighs, use that strength in the legs to lift you up. Breath in and out. You can always bring hands up over your head if you feel dizzy. And then we're going to turn. So we're facing the front, right leg is out, left leg behind. Interlace the fingers, shoulders back. Deep breath, fold forward. Keep your hands behind, rise up about halfway. We're going to shift the weight into the right side and start lifting up the left leg. So don't think too much about this, just give it a try. If you aren't really able to lift the leg too much, just keep the foot down and then you can kind of experiment. Okay? It's all just standing on one foot. And then set the foot back down. Back foot steps up to the front, arms overhead, and back to mountain. Breath in and breath out. Inhale, lift the arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, right foot steps back. Press down with both feet. Arms overhead, warrior one. One more breath. Move to warrior two. Relax the shoulders. Steady gaze. Inhale, flip that left hand, lift it up high. Next breath, we're straightening that knee, reach back with the left arm, and then we're lowering. Left arm down, right arm lifts for a triangle. Come on back up. Hands by your side, turn the foot. Ready for another fold. This time interlace the fingers behind your back. Deep breath and fold. Hands can stay at the waist or you could lift. Got the shoulders engaged. It's entirely up to you. And rising up. Breath in, breath out. Turning. So now we've got that left foot out, right foot behind. Interlace the fingers, deep breath. Folding over the left leg. Come on up about halfway. We're going to shift the weight onto this left side. Lift the right foot. Find your balance. If you feel like you can't lift very much, then don't worry about it. Don't lift very much. Breathe. And then set the foot down. Back foot steps up, arms overhead. Back to mountain. Breath in and breath out. And let's do some more balance. So from mountain, just lift up the right knee. Focus the gaze. Keep the breath moving through the body. It's even worse. And then set your foot down, switch sides. So you're standing on the right, left leg is lifted. And set the foot down, bicycle legs. Come on up, top of the mat. Lift the arms, interlace the fingers, slip the palms, lean back a little. Fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back to downward dog. Inhale, forward to high plank. And lower down. Head turns right. Arms by your side. Relax. Bring your head back to center. We're getting ready for locust. We're just going to keep the hands by your side, flip the palms. And then we're lifting up, head and chest. Lift the arms, lift the legs. And lower down. Head turns left. Head back to center. Bring the arms in front. Ready for Sphinx Pose. Palms resting on the mat, or maybe above the mat a little bit. Tops of the feet flat on the floor, and then we're going to press down with the palms and the forearms, pulling back the shoulders. Steady gaze. and then lower down. Let's rest the chin or the forehead on the hands. Bring the feet a little wider on the mat and relax. For some crocodile breathing. So we're letting the back, the sides expand. When you're ready, we're going to start moving back up. Tabletop to child's pose. Tabletop to downward dog. Step the feet up to the hands. And we're coming down to a seat on the mat. So you've got soles of the feet together. Take a deep breath. And fold forward. So wherever we are today is good. We are trying to give our body what it needs for the day. That may be less than you think or more than you expected. Who knows? Coming back up, both legs out in front. Take a deep breath, fold forward. Coming back up. Let's bend the right knee. Hug that in close. Deep breath. Couple of deep breaths. And then lower that right knee out to the side. Bringing the right foot in close to the left thigh. Take a deep breath and then lean forward, reaching down for the foot. Back up. We're going to switch. Right leg is long. We're hugging that left leg in close. Breathe. Sitting up tall. And then setting the knee down. Take a deep breath and reach. Right hand down towards the right foot. Moving back up, both legs out in front. Take a deep breath. Fold on your exhale. Coming back up, bend the knees. Let's catch a hold of the toes or tops of the feet. Lean back a little. Find your stability. And then we're extending either halfway or maybe all the way. Breathe. And then bend the knees. And we're going to have soles of the feet to the mat. And lowering down or rocking back. Find a place that feels comfortable for you. Knees are bent, soles of the feet on the mat. Let's bring the right ankle up on top of the left knee. You could stay here. Press that knee away from the body, opening up that right hip. Or you can bring the left thigh in closer, kind of hug it in to the body. Also working on that right hip. Set your foot down, switch. And then again, whichever one you did on the other side will work on this side. Set both feet back down to the mat. Ready for bridge. Heels back, close to the body. Hands by your side. And then we're pressing down, hands and feet, lifting up the hips. Breathe. Lower down. Soles of the feet together, knees apart. Knees to center. Bring them into the chest. Rock a little bit side to side. Arms to a T or goalpost arms. We'll start lowering both knees over to the right. And back, moving left. Back to center. Extend the legs. And then lowering down, however you want to get there. And finding a comfortable place to rest on your mat. Moving around a little now. Fingers and toes, hands and feet. Maybe stretching if you feel like it. And then coming over onto the right side. Moving to a seated position. Hands to center, deep breath in and out. Thank you for taking time today for yoga and for sharing it with me. I hope you have a great day. Namaste. Thank you. Moving straight into meditation now. Find something comfortable to sit on if you want. You don't have to. You could just sit on the floor, but you might get distracted by how that feels. So if you have something more comfortable, it's good. There'll be 1 bell to start, 3 bells to stop. So just close your eyes, sit up tall, begin breathing. It doesn't have to be an exaggerated breath. It can be a very natural breath. Just notice that it is a slow breath. Keeping the body relaxed so that you have room for the belly to expand, lungs to fill, focusing on that space between the thoughts. Thoughts may arise, we just watch them go. Come back to that space where nothing is. Opening the eyes, coming back to earth, back to awareness. Okay, well, I don't know. Hopefully that didn't drag too much. It went pretty fast for me, but I think I might have fallen asleep. I'm not really sure. I'll have to go back and look at the video and see if I was tilted over or not. All right. Well, have a great weekend, and I will be back on Monday.